Hello, everyone. I think most of us have heard of the light body, or Merkabah, or Merkabah, however you like to pronounce it, which is the vehicle of light when activated and love and all poured into it, that eventually it's what we drive out to ascension. I've had quite a few light body experiences, which I will say a little bit later. But what exactly is the rainbow body? And how is that connected? Well, what I can find about it, and you'll especially hear it in the Tibetan Buddha, is that the rainbow body is a state of being, but it's also like the higher, once you activate the light body of the Merkabah, and you keep it up with love, and I mean love, like even when you're doing the dishes, not hating to do the dishes, love, everything love, gratitude, it should be the attitude. When that is kept up, the rainbow body will be that state of mind. You'll be in that state of mind. And that's usually what you have to, it's the fullness really of the light body, the rainbow body. When you attain that, and I think they said that you can attain that before you ascend, but most of the time when you attain that, you're really right at the ascension door, where you are out of this dimension and you're in the higher dimension, and then you connect with that God part of you, which really is ascension, is that we go into our, you heard me talk about the I am presence, when you ascend into that. And I'm sure the light body Merkabah has, I don't know exactly the everythingness about it, but it all connects in there somewhere. And the experiences, I have had some experiences here. I don't want to call them lesser, but just not as like I had it while I was in Germany. The one I had in Germany, I heard about the Merkabah, and I really wanted to experience it. And this was back in the 90s, the mid 90s, late 90s, 97, 98-ish. And I remember there was some exercises or something to do. I know I did them. And it wasn't exactly on that time that it happened. I remember there was, yes, even in Germany, northern Germany, we had like a really bad storm coming in, like with high winds. And all the power went out. And it was like 7 or 8 o'clock, and I remember thinking, oh, what are we going to do, no TV, no, not, So we just decided to go to bed early. And which I always like to go to bed at that time early too, because I would go to bed a little earlier, and then I would really like deeply meditate first, and then I would fall asleep. So I did that. It's in 99 that this happened. It was actually in December of 99. Right, I remember that now. Like it was yesterday. But I woke up, I think the first time was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was a Friday. And so the next, the 2 o'clock in the morning was Saturday. And I woke up, and I was I was still with my eyes closed, but I was awake. And all of a sudden I was in this like field maybe, or somewhere, with this guide master, I'm not exactly sure. He took me on this, he was telling me how to do this light body. And I remember saying, oh my God, it was that easy. I could have done it. Of course, it's easy when you're in your higher, to know what to do. But then he left, and I decided, at the time I knew somebody who lived in, a young boy that had gotten to be my friend via the internet. It's kind of like a second mother to him. And he lived in Moldova. And so I wanted to see. So I just said, I want to go to Moldova. And all of a sudden, I was there. This vehicle was just going, and I was there. I was going through bridges and saw some poor areas. And I'm like, well, it looks like it would be somewhere like that. So, and I said his name. I don't remember his name now. But I wanted to go to his home. All of a sudden, I'm in this, right outside, it was snowy out because this was in December. And I think he was like in a little apartment or something. And I was in his kitchen too, and I in his house. I remember later, because he was all into spiritual things, writing him about it. And he said, that's exactly my place. So, but that was later. I went back to sleep right after that, because I sort of snapped out of it and then thought, whoa, what? And then I went right back to sleep. And then I woke up again. I think it was about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And this was different. It was still a light body experience, but it was different. I saw like a head, like a crown, or like a head with a crown on it. It was so beautiful. Every time I looked at it, I was more in love, like I was in love with it. Like, and the more I thought of it, and the more I put that feeling out to it, it spun, and it spun and spun and spun until it was spinning so fast it didn't even look like it was spinning. And then, right at that moment, I heard a noise, and I felt like I was on an elevator. And I was thinking, how can my husband at the time not hear it? Because it was really loud. And I was rising. And then I like went into this vehicle, like I was here and it was there, and and it just spun so fast, and I saw that I was getting ready to go into space. And it freaked me out. I wish I would have just went ahead and gone there. But the moment I was like, whoa, to myself, that feeling, it pulled me out of it. And I was back in my, I wish I would have gone through it though, because how cool would that have been? But when you activate it, yes, you can go anywhere, whether it's on this earth or anywhere. So that's the Merkabah. And I have gone other places since and enjoyed it. But when you cultivate love, peace, and harmony, and you keep it within you all the time, it's hard sometimes. It seems hard, and I think a lot of times we say it's too hard. So we sort of push it away and say, well, I'm just human, But if we keep trying and feel that love, pray, meditate, just the feeling of happiness and gratitude for your life, for everything, will pull you into that, where you can keep your light body activated and go into that state of the rainbow body. And of course, that will also help with the Christ oil too, and that will be another one, because it's all connected somehow, but it's yet a different process. But yes, I have seen in deep meditation a rainbow, and yes, you can have that experience and still be here on Earth. And I never really knew at that time I don't think so much about the rainbow body, but I knew that it was something significant, I've had that like 3 or 4 times maybe experience when I was really in deep blissful meditation awareness, and then I saw it. But even if you pictured all around you, sometimes when I just close my eyes and just picture it around me. That also, I believe, will help. But there have been stories where masters or, Buddhist monks have just poof into like nothing, like here we can't see them anymore, and what's left over sometimes is like a rainbow. So they went into their, rainbow essence or body. One such monk, this is about the time of 1952, and there's been many stories, but of different stories of people. Even, you don't have to be a monk, by the way. But this was right after that China took over Tibet and all that, but decided to go ahead and let them practice it because they were going to anyway, right? The Tibetans just had their Buddhist religion, and that was that. So, but he kind of cultivated a bit of a relationship, this monk, with this top military guy. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but he was like one of the top military Chinese communist guys at the time. And he had invited him there. He said that he was going to be leaving. Of course, this guy just thinks he's just going to be going. He's going to be leaving the country. So he went over there with a few of his men. But the monk didn't come out to greet him as he usually does. And he went into the temple, whatever it was, where the monk was staying at. And he was sitting there on the floor in the hallway. And later some of the other, I think it said monks had come in too. And they were all still there, and all of a sudden he got up, then he sat down. Then that happened like 3 times, and on the 3rd time, as he fell back, they heard like a big clap, like a lightning. And the only thing that was left was red dust. Now, sometimes they say when you get to the rainbow body, that there are some things left behind, like fingernails or hair or something. But when he attained the highest degree, where he just poof, just disappeared, And there were several other stories, and yes, you can die, but still attain ascension. This is why a lot of them believed in not touching and messing with the body. There was this one lady, so I think it was back in the 60s or 70s this happened. She was quite an older lady, though, at the time. In fact, in her younger time, she wandered through to a village, if I remember the story exactly. I don't even remember her name. And there was just something about her. Dogs would follow her. And she just had that aura of, peace, love. She'd even go into the store and give the dog, just take a few things to let the dogs. A lot of times people didn't like that, but she was more into the love of everyone. She would also, people would come and she would heal them. Well, back in the 60s, 70s, 50s, I don't know when it was exactly, something like that. And I want to say it's India or somewhere, but I don't really know. She had gotten, I don't know if she was sick, but it was at that time where it was her time to go on. And even after she died, that's when the body starts getting cold normally, right? her body was burning up and she was sweating. So the ascension process was taking place. I don't know the exact details about, they don't really say what, if anything disappeared or not, but obviously she most likely ascended. So you can ascend and not die, ever touch death, or you can at death ascend. But that's just a little bit about the rainbow body. There's plenty of stories out there of people, and you can even ascend. And it's something that we all will do at some point, whether in this life or other lives. We will. We'll ascend into light, to what we are, in the highest part of us. We came down, we projected down here in this 3D to learn lessons, expand, grow, to take up there maybe to God, the creator of all things, to expand, grow. But eventually, it's always meant for us to ascend and go back. And even then, I mean, as you know from hearing about ascended masters and everything, the work doesn't stop there, They go around and they're still helping people to their freedom of ascension. Anyway, that's just a little bit about the rainbow body and the light body, and I'm Lavender Rose. I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday Camel Day, and over now. Remember the Merkabah and the rainbow body. Love you all. Over now.